Is he the weirdest gift you've ever received?
No, I'd probably say it was like a dildo or something. At my next show, that was from the guy that thought he was in a relationship with me. So yeah.
Was it one of those clone your
It
willies?
probably was clone and willy, which now I'm thinking of it, that's fucking disgusting, isn't it? Oh god, that's so awful.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Know Nothing. Today's guest is Cheyenne Davide, who you guys may know as Snoochie Shy. Snoochie is an English radio presenter, TV presenter, and model. Since 2018, she's hosted a very own show on BBC Radio 1 Extra. And in 2021, she was a contestant on the 21st series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. So welcome to the studio, Snoochie. The only reason I asked about, I was about to say confetti club again, confetti crowd, is because I think I remember seeing it, but I was like, my brain doesn't go back that far. But then also sometimes you don't want to be reminded of things you've done before. Yeah,
no, I don't mind. I feel like everything's part of the journey, innit?
So is that, how did you start going into, like, when were you doing blogging and stuff?
Okay, so I actually I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, so I started off doing community radio. So that's because I've always wanted to like get into presenting. Actually, no, that's a lie. I started off doing styling and I was actually working around here where we're filming. Obviously, we won't drop the location. But yeah, no, I started off doing fashion assistant for this magazine. It was sold in JD and it was called Rewind. And
I know Rewind.
Yeah. So I remember I sent like a picture of myself in like a bin bag and I was like trying to recreate Jeremy Scott's like Moschino, whatever it is, catwalk show that he did. And I sent it to one of the guys there. He's called Dacre and he was like, yeah, come in. I looked terrible. I was just in my back garden with my cat in a bin bag, but we made it into like a two-piece. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Sent it in. I started doing work experience for Rewind magazine. And then after that, I got a job. Getting like £25 a day. I was like, yeah, this is lit, obviously. Whilst I was still at sixth form as well. So sometimes I was like missing like school to do the job, but
I bet they loved that.
Yeah, no, I nearly got chucked out and then I had to go to like a tribunal to be like, I need to sit my A-levels.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I managed to do it. So then, I was doing that. And I think with that, that's when I started really enjoying like fashion a bit. And that's when I thought I was going to be a fashion stylist. But then I realised I actually can't style anyone.
It's different styling yourself to styling somebody else, isn't it?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I would just dress people in like what I want to wear. And I feel like stylists like, no, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I can't do that. It's so bad. But like big up to stylists because there's so much work that actually goes into it, which is crazy. And then I realized, okay, cool, I'm not going to get into styling. So I went into blogging. And that's kind of when Confetti Crowd started. One of the girls in there came up with the idea to have like a group of bloggers like do like this collective type thing. I think I did that for like a year maybe. And then I left and then I went to do like my other presenting stuff basically.
So what was the reason that you decided to stop doing it?
I just wanted to focus more so on presenting really. Like I think that was my main passion because during that time I was still doing like community radio and online radio as well. And I think like from there I was just like, yeah, like fashion bit is cool, but presenting is definitely what I want to focus on. So that's why I kind of left.
So we always see people on like big mainstream radio shows, but I never really know how they get there in the first place because they don't just rock up one day at BBC and been like, yeah, sure, start. How did you start getting into community radio?
So community radio, I was doing an online YouTube channel and it was called Rep Video, and we used to do like this news show called Rep Video. Called Rep Video News, where we'd talk about like the whole like UK grime and rap scene and stuff. And there was like a section that I did on like this artist, he's my favourite artist, he's called Giggs. And he kind of went away for a bit. So I was doing this thing called the Giggs Report where I was trying to basically like find him by reenacting his music videos and stuff. And then when he came back, he was like, there's some crazy girl trying to find me. I think he said his mum told him or something. And I was like, yeah, that's me. So then we linked up, we did a spoof. And then from there, somebody called Gavin, who's like my radio mentor, he was working at Represent Radio at the time. And he had seen like my videos and he was like, oh, can you come in and like pilot for Represent Radio? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, sick. Like I'd never done it before. And then, I went to Represent. I did like drive time at Represent and I learned so much because before, like when I was doing radio, I used to write like whole paragraphs and like read it word for word. And then I went from paragraphs to like bullet points and now I just kind of freestyle. So I went from Represent and then Gavin left Represent, went to Radar Radio, which was online. I did the breakfast show. And then, yeah, after that, I went to One Extra.
Because you also do a little bit of TV presenting as well. Was that just as a result of you doing radio and then...
Yeah, no, definitely. Like TV is definitely something that I love to do. I went to, what was my first TV? MTV. So big up to Jeremy, my boss at MTV. But yeah, he's the one that gave me like my first job on telly. And I'm still at MTV now and I like literally enjoy it. It's so fun.
So how do you successfully manage and balance all of your different types of roles?
Do you know what? I think it's just like if you enjoy it, you kind of make time for it. I feel like before when I was doing One Extra, I used to do 4 nights a week, which was like 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. I only do 1 night a week now because I did that for like, no, but you know, I loved it because there's like no rules on the show. Like you could swear, you could drink, you can just say and do what you want. And like there was, literally no rules. But I think then I started working in the day because when I first moved to One Extra, that was kind of like my sole job. But then as I like built myself up, I started working throughout the day and then doing that shift. And I felt like some days I was like working like 20 hours and I was like, I can't just like whatever. Like it was just a lot. But so then I've gone down to like one show now, which is easier to balance like daytime.
I know that being a woman in any industry has its own challenges, but especially in the entertainment industry and doing radio, there's like unique challenges that you wouldn't face in any other industry. So what kind of challenges did you face when you were coming in and how did you deal with that?
I would say definitely, do you know what? YouTube comments are crazy. So, because I like work, I mean, specifically I work in like rap music. That's where like my focus is and stuff. I'd say like I would interview people, then YouTube comments would be like, yeah, bet she shagged him after the interview or to get the interview or bet she sucked his dick or something. And I'm like, what the hell? So I feel like it was stuff like that, trying to like show that actually just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that I've had to like shag my way to get a radio interview. Even during Zoom, when it was like COVID, and we're doing like Zoom interviews, people would say, oh yeah, but she shagged him for that interview. And I'm like, over the Zoom? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was so crazy. But I would say like that's probably like some of the things that, the hardships that I've come across. And I think also with DJing as well, like when I started DJing, there wasn't like too many girls at that point. There's so many now, which I think is great. And I feel like girls are still like underrepresented when it comes to DJing. But even that, like if it was like guys like trying to set up for me, not thinking that I knew how to set up and stuff like that. Yeah, I'd say those ones.
How do you deal with a situation like that? Like I've got a big mouth. So when somebody says something like that to me, I would probably say something that would get me in trouble. But how do you like be able to deal with that in a professional way?
Do you know what? I used to be really shy about it. Like when I first started, I was just like, I never used to say anything because I'd be like, oh, I'm just starting to DJ. So yeah, let me just leave it. But now like I would say something. I'll just be like, now I'm calm. Like I know how to do it. But yeah, cheers, mate.
It's like when people come up to you at the gym being like, do you want help? And you're like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm actually loving the gym. I just started the gym and I'm like, proper into the gym now and I used to hate it.
Is it because it's a male dominated space?
No, I just used to hate like getting up and going to the gym. Like that is probably like the main thing, to be honest. I go in the morning, so there's not really like too many people there anyway. But like, yeah, no, it's just the whole like getting up and actually going.
I mean, I guess if you're working until 1 a.m. Probably don't want to get up at all.
Yeah, that's true actually.
I wouldn't want to get up.
Yeah, so, especially like lifting weights in the gym, like that would have been it. But yeah.
But being a host on BBC, is it BBC Radio Extra?
Yeah.
One Extra, is an amazing like achievement. Now you talk about how you freestyle your content on there. How do you know what's going to engage people on the radio? Because you can't actually see them and you don't get like direct comments that you do on YouTube, for example.
Yeah. Well, we have like the text line and stuff. So when I go on air, like the text line goes with all the listeners and stuff. And it's so mad because sometimes like a lot of them I've like saved and made like nicknames for them and stuff, like Bill It Flip It or something like that. But then sometimes
people that come and text you regularly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then sometimes if their name hasn't saved or something, I can recognize like the last number and know like what listener it is. It's really weird. I feel like because I've done it for so long, like I just know it's really weird. Like one of my producers, Emma, will be like, yeah, I bet you know who that one is. And I'm like, yeah, that's Sue. So, but no, I guess like the listeners kind of make the show and it's definitely like quite a shout out show. People will message in about like how they're feeling and stuff, what's been going on. And yeah, I mean, like I said, there's like no rules on the show, so we can just speak about anything. So anything that's kind of trending or like music wise, like we just talk about it really. It's very shouty. Like I'm very loud on there.
But it's cool that you get to express yourself in that way. But if you know everyone that's sending you texts, I mean, is Is it a safe space? Do you feel like you're protected in that way, or is it because anybody can text in?
Yeah, no, do you know what? There has been like a few occasions where there's been like someone will be like, oh, you need security to escort you in because like there's someone that's turned up to the radio like looking for you or something. And I feel like it's fine when it's like, you know, like people just want to say hello. But then sometimes there's been like cases of someone that thought that they was in a relationship with me and like had like said that they was gonna introduce me to their parents. They would send like roses and stuff, like made gifts, like personalized gifts to me, but believed that we was in a relationship.
Because you shouted them out on radio.
Something, yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, it's probably because like I was shouting out a lot. Like I don't know, but like, yeah, he just thought we was in a relationship. And I think that was the one for me that got a little bit like scary.
How do you cope with that? I've never been in that situation, so I wouldn't know how to deal with that.
Yeah. I don't really know. I kind of like, it's bad, but I feel like my coping mechanism is to kind of laugh things off, which I don't think that's like the best thing to do because it's quite like a scary situation. But I feel like if I would sit and like really, really like overthink it, and I'd go into like a dark place. So I just kind of laugh things off. But yeah, I think it taught me to be a little bit like self back a bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I guess if you can talk about anything, you would probably... I'm guilty of oversharing, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit like you don't know if you're giving too much or like too little. But yeah, I just find a balance now to be in the middle. But yeah, like I feel like my boss told me the other day that someone came to the radio. Like it was on a random day though. It was like a Saturday. Like I'm in on a Monday and was like, came into the BBC offices and was like, where's Snoochie Shy? Where's Snoochie? I was like, well, I'm at home. It's Saturday night. Like I'm at home, babe.
How obviously when you were starting out on radio and doing community radio, who would you say like was your role model and like do you look to for inspiration when you were starting out?
I would say like my TV presenting idol has always been like Davina McCall. I just think everything about her. McCall. Yeah, like oh my God. I mean, I'm so gassed that Big Brother's back, by the way, but her like days doing Big Brother, just amazing. Like I even watched some clips back of her on like YouTube doing like Big Brother's Big Mouth and stuff. But yeah, definitely Davina McCall. I just felt like she did presenting, but she didn't care as well. Like she was just like herself completely. She didn't care what anyone else thought. Like she did a BB interview before with like, she took her coat off and she was in a bikini and I was like, that is so lit. Like that is so lit. Like she was just super cool. I'd say like radio wise, Nick Grimshaw probably, because like when he was doing the breakfast show and stuff, like he'd just have like celebrity guests just rolling through. Like some people would come like hang in after like a Brits party or something and then go to his breakfast show. And that was cool. So yeah, I'd say like, yeah, Nick Grimshaw.
Have you had people hanging after parties at your show?
I haven't had people hanging at parties, but I've had people get drunk on my show. Like I've had people like from Love Island, he came on the show and he actually fell. No, wait, what? No, he made me fall off of my chair because I was drunk as well, actually. But I went through his phone. This is what I'm saying is like wild things. So like part of the game was to go through his phone as a forfeit. Literally just been watching porn.
And didn't think to close it before.
Yeah, before he came in, by the way. So I don't know if it was that he was in the green room just like, let me just whack one out or something. But yeah, that was quite funny. But yeah, loads of people come on the show and they do get drunk.
And watch porn apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Beforehand. So, yeah.
You did I'm a Celebrity as well.
Mm-hmm.
When I was researching for this episode, I didn't realise that I'm a Celebrity had been going on for so long because you were on season 21.
Yes, series 21. It's crazy, isn't it? So many.
2 years ago. Doing I'm a Celebrity looks really terrifying. What actually inspired you to want to go on the show?
I've always wanted to do it. Like I've like grown up watching the show as well. And it's such like, it's a mad show. Like it really, really is. I always say like it's the hardest thing I've ever done, but like the best thing I've ever done in my whole life. Like obviously I've ate like a cow's ass. That was actually quite nice.
Oh, that's brave. That is one brave thing to admit.
No. It was actually quite nice because it was like cold. It was like cold meat. Like, yeah, I want cow's ass too. But yeah, no, it was actually all right. Vomit fruit was the worst.
Vomit fruit.
Yeah, and I had a fermented duck egg, and that took like half an hour for me to eat. And I remember Adam Deck was like, come on. I was like, absolutely not. Like, I can't rush this. I'm sorry. I can't even explain the taste. Like, it was awful.
I feel like
really
I'm a
bad.
Celeb is one of those shows where people are either desperate to do it because they think it'd be fun, or like it would be my worst nightmare.
Really? Do you know what? I think it's great. I was on with Frankie Bridge, and Frankie was like really terrified of quite a few stuff, but she was like so strong at a lot of the trials and stuff. Like she was really good.
Yeah, because I'm scared of birds, bugs, and small spaces.
Oh, so everything really.
Yeah, so
I was confined in a coffin with
that would be game over.
I think I had like about, was it like 5,000 cockroaches or something? I had bald rats and actual normal rats as well. The normal rats was actually
in your coffin.
Yeah.
That would be game over for me. It'd be great to watch me do it.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't think I could do it.
I was like, I have to win this trial. Like, there's no way. The eating trial I put myself up for though. I was like, that was the one that I really wanted to do.
What? Why?
I don't know. I feel like it's such like a staple part of the show that I was just like, I have to do it.
Like to get the full experience.
Yeah. No, I actually loved doing the eating trial. But yeah, like I said, it was definitely the best thing. It's very hard. Obviously it was in the castle as well, so it's freezing cold.
Oh, you did the COVID series.
Yeah, I did the castle. It was freezing. Like I'm talking like so cold. Like t-shirts, thermals. I had 2 pairs of thermals on, t-shirt, gilet, cardigan, fleece, coat, gloves. Like it was definitely freezing.
Is that better or worse than being in an actual jungle though, do you reckon?
I'm not sure, but I've always said like Australia for me would have been my first trial, like getting there, because I hate flying. So I was actually okay with the castle.
Yeah, because I think you wouldn't be, I don't know what the shower situation's like, but I wouldn't want to get sweaty and then not be able to shower. So
yeah.
But what was your most memorable experience of doing I'm a Celebrity?
Memorable. I mean, definitely like meeting everyone, because I was kind of like sat there when everyone walked in. So we got split up at first, and then the other camp came back into ours, like Eileen Phillips, Danny Miller and stuff. And I remember I was just like a little bit starstruck just by everyone. And I feel like I had like a bit of imposter syndrome as well, because I was like, okay, Frankie from the Saturdays definitely used to have her CD. Danny's on Emmerdale. Louise is like big news presenter on BBC. I was just like, and then Ian Bill was in there. I'm so sorry. I mean, Adam, obviously. But
I love that.
No. When Ian Bill came in, obviously, Adam, sorry. But when he came in, I was like, oh, I wonder what he's going to be like. Because I don't know, because I've been watching him for so long. I just think that he's Ian. But he was actually like, I loved him, by the way.
I couldn't imagine what Adam's like, because I've just got Ian in my head the whole time.
He's actually so cool. Like so basically I had to take my braids out because we did a challenge and so much gunk got in it that I was like, I'm gonna have to take them out. I had like about 3,000 braids in. So I took them out, and then my curls was out. And there was like, we don't have any conditioner, but I was like, I kind of need it for my hair. So then when you do like a trial, there's like showers downstairs and there's like conditioner in it. And he stole the conditioner and brought it back upstairs for me. So I'd say like, that's actually like one of my memorable moments.
That's so
like,
sweet.
I was like, you get it, guy. You get it. So,
And you don't. It's the stuff you don't see on camera that's always the best stuff, and it upsets me that you never get to see it.
No, but I just thought like he was proper thoughtful. Like he always made sure that I was okay. Like he's actually met my mum. I linked up with him after. He met my mum. So
I love that.
I know.
What was the impact of doing I'm a Celebrity on your life and career? Because it's a massive show.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I'm definitely so grateful for the opportunity. It was so fun. I went on to do much more TV, which was really, really good. And I would say like the highlight for me was like showcasing my birthmark, because before that I had always covered it and it was always like covered up. But that kind of stems back from school days. But in there, and that was like one of my fears, and I touched on it in the castle actually. Like I was just like, oh my God. In my head, I'd like built it up to be like such like a big thing. But I think it's just because of like all the things from the past that have made it bigger. But like for me, like just letting the world see my birthmark. Like I know it sounds so silly, but yeah, it was like quite a big thing for me.
Was it something that you considered before going in, and was it something that you maybe thought, I don't want to do the show because of it?
Well, I actually did check if I could bring foundation in. They did say I could if I wanted to, but then I decided not to. So I was never not going to do the show, but it was something that I was like a little bit like, about, which is so mad now I think of it, because I don't like cover it up now. Obviously I've got concealer on today. It was a heavy night last night. Not gonna lie. But I think that changed me. It made me so confident within myself as well. Just being there like completely stripped back and stuff. Like, for me, it made me super confident.
You probably see it now, I've got freckles, and like, it's not the same as having a birthmark, but because of comments people make to you in school, like, your skin's dirty because it's not clear and things like that. I was really conscious about going on TV and being without makeup.
Yeah.
Because I'd covered it for so long, but it got to the point where I no longer gave a shit. And what was it? When was it that moment where you were like, I don't care anymore?
I think that moment for me was literally as soon as I walked in there. Because as soon as I walked in, I was just like, well, I'm done it now. So I'm meeting people. People can see that, you know, I've got a birthmark and stuff. Like, no one's saying anything. I think because I had so many negative comments before, I just always used to think that people would, even though they probably wouldn't, like, say negative things, or I just felt negatively about it myself. But I think it was like the moment I went in there, I just, don't know, just felt different about myself and actually forgot about it, to be fair.
Was it I'm a Celebrity that kind of made you no longer care for like the rest of your life?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, like I said, like it made me super confident. I don't cover my birthmark anymore as well. Like before, I'd always cover it, like people wouldn't see it. But now, like I'm super, super fine about it. And I love it. I just feel like it's a part of me. And I think one of the main things as well was like people messaging me, or like mums with like kids that have got birthmarks, or like teenagers that have got birthmarks and saying that they was getting bullied in school, and like they still message me now like for advice and stuff about it. And I think that's really like nice. One of the most like a great feeling since coming out.
Would you do it again?
No.
You would never do I'm a Celebrity again?
No, oh my God, no. I don't. I mean, I had the best time ever, but do you know what? I thought going in that my fear of heights would be like sorted out, but absolutely not. Petrified still.
Do you think it's because you didn't have to do the skydive into the jungle?
Do you know what? I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I could have done that. I say it now, but I don't know if I could have done that. Like, that is so scary. I walked a plank and it was over a lake and it was really high up on some mountains. We had to land there by helicopter. But I don't know if I could jump out of a plane.
I take my hats off to any person that could do that show, because I think it would absolutely
ruin me. I feel like you'd be hilarious on there. It's people that are like scared of it, like super scared of it and like terrified of it, that actually like enjoy it.
Yeah, my pain would be like my misery would be the cause of everyone's entertainment.
If you had to do a trial, what would you do? If you had to like...
Oh, I don't know. I think I would don't want to do an eating one. Like I could never do it.
You need to do an eating one then.
I think I would. I think if I had to, I would get into a confined space. And like if I can't see something, then it's not there. That's what I'll tell myself. Like if I can't see it, it's not there.
So you'll be good in like the night ones then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I think
I feel like that's even scarier.
No,
because you don't know what you're getting into.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'd rather see it all.
Oh no.
Bloody hell.
And like, do you know what? Actually, I think growing up in streets of like Asian cities, like even though I was born here and raised here, like going home, I feel like I've seen all the weird stuff that people could eat anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want to eat it, but I don't think it would worry me too much.
Well, maybe you could have like a fisheye or something.
I also have a really bad gag reflex. So
oh, really? Oh, God, no.
Everyone's worst nightmare.
You'd just be vomiting everywhere then.
Yeah, put me on mute and that would have to be the rest of the show. But actually, I forgot to ask before we started recording, do you want to talk about when Zach did Love Island, what it was like watching your sibling do it?
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that, yeah.
I didn't know you guys were related.
Yeah. Zach is my brother.
What was it like? I've always wanted to know, because my brother would never answer any of the questions. What was it like to watch a sibling do something like that?
Oh my God, it was fucking nightmare. Like, I'm not gonna lie, do you know what? Like, it was funny because every night something was going on.
Yeah.
But I can't even tell you like the amount of anxiety I was getting from watching Zach on Love Island, like every night. And sometimes when there's drama, I'm like, because then I'd be getting it on Twitter and people would be like, you better log off now, Snoochie, come collect your brother or something like that if he'd done something crazy. And some of the things that I did like say no by Zach. But when he got pied by Katie, that was quite hilarious to me. Like, I'm so sorry. Like as a big sister, I could never let him live that down. But yeah, getting pied by Katie was quite something to watch, to be fair.
I guess it's probably slightly different from older sister to watching a brother doing it.
Yeah.
And watching a younger brother watching their older sister do it.
Oh yeah, true.
Because it's like, but I'm surprised that my brother never let me live stuff down. Because I would have absolutely torn into my brother as well about certain things.
No, it's mad, isn't it? It's such a crazy show. But when I went in there for the family visit, it was so tiny. Like compared to what it looks like on telly. Like, I don't know how you guys did it, because if you're having a conversation at that end of the garden, the other end are hearing you.
That's why the drama starts.
That's crazy.
You hear everything. There's nothing.
That is so mad.
But what was it like going in for friends and family?
really weird. Yeah, it was really weird because obviously we hadn't seen Zach for so long, but we'd been watching him and stuff. And also Zach was in a relationship. Was he in a relationship at that point? I don't know, but they was basically like wifed off. But yeah, that was quite mad. Like seeing them together and then meeting the family of the girlfriend, like then and there too. That was such a different
Quite
experience.
intense experience,
Yeah, that's
right?
the word. I was going to say, yeah, I said different, but yeah, no, it was definitely an intense situation. But they was cool.
It didn't convince you that you wanted to maybe do that instead?
What?
Love Island?
No. No. Oh my God, I couldn't even do like any of the lip sync. Like, no, I can't. That was the hardest thing, watching Zach just lips left, right and centre, I'd say.
They turn the volume up on it.
Yeah, my God,
And
it's
it just
so
makes you
loud.
really uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But I think actually, I don't think that Zach had to do it, the food challenges where they're spitting food in each other's mouths.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, I think that's why I would never want to do an eating challenge.
Yeah.
Anything food related is just no.
That's the one where it goes passing down the line, isn't it?
Yeah, I had someone spit gravy in my mouth.
No, oh my God. I just want to be like, I don't know. No, I couldn't do that. That's near. No, I feel like the main thing for me would be even walking in a bikini. I feel like everyone that does Love Island, like literally, I hold my hands up to you guys because like I couldn't. No, I don't even know what I would do. Like I couldn't do like a strut. I'd probably do like a robot or something.
You'd have to, your hands are in the producers. Your entire body confidence is in the hands of the producers because if they get those angles wrong,
yeah, that's
you're going to be ripped to shreds on Twitter.
Yeah. No, I couldn't do it.
What advice did you give to your brother before he went in? Because obviously you know that when you do something like that, your life just gets projected straight away into the spotlight.
Yeah. So he came over to mine not before he went in, but he kind of knew that he was going in. And then we actually went on holiday with each other to Ibiza, a little sibling holiday. But he was like, yeah, I'm going to last a week. It's fine. And I was like, I don't feel like you should go in with that like kind of
mindset.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He actually went to the final as well, which was so good. Advice that I gave him, I just said literally just be yourself. Don't do anything crazy and don't get yourself cancelled, really. Like, no, I'm sorry, that was the main thing. And I was like, don't get me cancelled off the back of you. But no, I just told him to like have a good time, enjoy yourself and just like be respectful to people as well and people's feelings. That was kind of the main thing, really. Like he's a great guy, so he didn't really need too much. I gave him advice about like what would happen after. I don't think he knew to that extent what it would be like coming out.
Did it not, was watching you not enough like preparation for him?
I think it's different when you experience it yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that Love Island is such like it's a different type of show as well. And like the audience that watch it, they're all very young. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of a different thing. Like obviously when they was coming home and they got to the airport and stuff, like everyone waiting for them and stuff, like I don't know if you can prepare yourself for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I definitely don't think that he obviously knows like what Love Island's about and what can happen after, but I don't think he kind of understood it himself until you experience it, really.
Did anything impact your career? No.
Thank God. It was actually all right because I'm not going to lie, like when something did go down, like I called him out and I was just like, absolutely not, like that's not cool. Do you know what I mean? But for the rest of it, he was super chill and calm. I feel like we could have toned down on the broskies, but aside from that, like it was good. We was good, but that's how he speaks in real life anyway. So yeah.
You weren't looking at it being like, that's not him.
No, there's not really one point where I was just like, oh my God, because a lot of people are just like, oh, what's this fake accent that he has and stuff, and I'm like, that's just how he speaks. Like he speaks like that. I'm sorry.
It's 24/7. You literally cannot pretend to have an accent.
Exactly. So yeah.
But with all of your like background and experience and all of the different types of career paths you've tried out, what advice would you give to women who are aspiring to enter the entertainment industry?
I would always say, go for it. Obviously, don't take no for an answer. If you really want something, then you will get like a lot of no's. And one of the things that Davina McCall says, going back to her, is that I can never remember the specific number, but she said that she got like 37 letters of rejection in her career where she was trying to get into presenting and people was always saying no. And then she continued, kept going. And since then, all of them companies came back and employed her later on down the line. And I feel like that resonates with me as well, because when I was first starting out, like a lot of companies just like, no. But I feel like everything's timing as well. So I've really had to like just change my mindset, because I think sometimes when you get no's, it can really like defeat you. So I had to like take some time, work harder and realize that that's what I want and just keep going, really. And like some of the companies that said no to me at the beginning have like employed me too. So like that's my main thing. But I think if you want to get into presenting, I always say that people should go out on the streets. You can do vox pops, like you can make a show reel from that, and like YouTube and stuff. That's how you can kind of get into it, and like DJ and just buy some decks and practice.
How do you deal with the rejection when you do get it?
Oh, it's really hard. I remember I lost a job once, and I literally came home to my mum and I was in tears. I was like, this is it. This is the end of my life. Like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Because it was a job that I really loved, but they kind of like, it was like the end of the contract. And then they was like, yeah, no, we're going to go in a different direction. I honestly like really internalized that. Like, it's me, it's me. And I think like when you're younger, especially, like those kind of feelings are hard to, you know, deal with because you do end up thinking it is you and stuff. But yeah, I just bounced back from it really and just like kept working, to be fair. I think my mum's a great like I go to her for cuddles still at my big age. Like I'm like, Mom, I need you if anything goes wrong.
Do you know what? I think it's always really important to have that one person that you can like vent to, because I think sometimes people think that they have to like give you advice to be able to like fix the situation, but sometimes you just want someone to listen.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, my mum's definitely like a big listener. Like she listens, she gives me advice. And like my mum used to work in the industry before. She was like a dancer. So she's always like been able to give me and Zach now like advice about stuff, which is good. But yeah, like rejection happens. You do get rejected. It's just the way that you bounce back from it really and keep going.
When you said about people like going to the streets and trying to create their own content and create YouTube, what advice would you give to people that are like, because it's so saturated, isn't it? There's so many people producing so much content. How do you find your niche and how do you stand out?
Mm-hmm. I think it's all about what you like. So I'm like a massive snoring up the place. It's all right for some. I'm like a massive fan of like vision boards. So I have like so many vision boards. They're like in my bedroom and stuff. And I just brainstorm on things. So like, what's my brand identity? What do I want to stand for? What do I want people to think of when they look at me? And then I just go off on a tangent with like all the little spider diagrams and I write that down. I think once you know like what you're about, what you enjoy, then that's kind of where you would go with the content. So if you like music, you can go out on the street, you can ask people their music opinions, or you can go to like concerts with upcoming singers and try and interview like the bands or the singers. There's like so many different like avenues that you can go down as well. And if it's not music, it could be, I don't know, love. So you can go out on the streets, ask people their opinions on love and dating and stuff. So yeah, I think it's just all tailored down to what it is that you want to do, what you're about.
What is the big dream goal? Like if your agent phoned you tomorrow and said, I've got this for you,
yeah,
what would it be? And like it was the dream thing.
I'd love to just host my own like primetime telly show. Like that would be great. So I think that's like one of my big goals, to host my own primetime TV show.
Would you ever want to do something like dancing? I feel like everybody does like dancing on ice these days.
No. I'd never do dancing on ice just because I'm sorry, but I'm petrified of ice skating. Like, no, because I've always had a fear of like if I fall over or something and then get sliced or something.
Oh.
So I just, no.
I think
also,
after watching
being chucked in the air, it's different to Strictly, because I'd love to do Strictly.
Okay.
But like getting chucked in the air and then you have to land on ice. That's crazy. In a blade shoe. That's crazy. No, I'm sorry. What? You asked me to do pirouette split.
I feel like I would be okay in the situation if the professional was leading it.
Yeah, no.
But some of the female dancers that have to let the professionals that have to let the men do it, no.
Yeah, no, that's so scary.
I'm out.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I can't. Like, I feel like I'd just be petrified of that. So would you do dancing on ice?
No, I can't ice skate.
Yeah, no,
I'm like Bambi. I'll be like Bambi. I'd do a Gemma Collins and just like stack
oh my
it
God,
and slide all the way
that was
across.
iconic. I'm not going to lie.
Only she could pull it off though.
Yeah, no, that was funny. Sorry, I can't. It actually gives me like, I'm shook. No, I'm too shook of that. Like, ice skating's scary. Do you know what? When it gets to Christmas, it's around this time and everyone's like, do you want to go ice skating? Nope. I'll watch from the sidewalks. Yeah, I'll film everyone.
If I ever see a Winter Wonderland hanging off the edge of the...
yeah, no. See, even that, like, I'll just go and get some teddies and stuff. Might go on a ride, but I won't be on the ice. I just find it so scary.
I always ask everyone the same final question. Mm-hmm. If you could offer a piece of advice to your younger self based off your life and career journey so far, what would it be? What would it be?
I would say, overthinking's good, but sometimes overthinking is a little bit too much. And don't always worry about what other people are going to say and if other people will like you or not. Just do you, and everything's going to be okay. And embrace yourself. That would probably be like my main thing. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's honestly, it's typical.
It's so typical that he's asleep whilst we're done.
When we're finishing the episode, he's asleep. But he's so cute.
He is. Someone said to me the other day, is he AI? I was like, what?
Oh, what is it? Because you posted a photo?
No, in real life. They was like, is he AI? And I was like, what does that even mean? I don't get it, but yeah.
No. Anyway. Oh, well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I bet I will see you doing something that you said you wouldn't do now.
How about I see you on I'm a Celeb? Eating some balls.
If I do I'm a Celebrity, you have to do Dancing on Ice.
Oh God. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. We'll trade it off.
Okay. That's gonna come back and bite me, literally.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But no, honestly, thank you so much for sharing your experience, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you for having me.